them to influence a bit, at least as hard as I can. And only this moment like pushed me to do something more for our victory. And second part of this stuff is I always consider myself such an badass. I never been in hospitals in my life, like more than maybe one day, just for doing some injection. But after multiple contusion, I'm still in hospital like more than 14 months, and life gave me this lesson that it's it doesn't matter how tough guy you are, life could really knock you down and do it really painful, and you can be cool when you have health, when you have friends together and all this stuff, but when you're really on the bottom of your life, and it makes the difference who you are. It could really shows who you are and what you're gonna do. So I have this, I could say, amazing experience in hospitals, because I understand how bad is it, and right now I try my best to help soldiers on the battlefield, and also to help soldiers with the rehabilitation, because I have this experience on myself, and right now I understand how many soldiers needs our help in Ukraine and in abroad. So this events, they mix together. Bad things motivate me to do good stuff, and good stuff appears only because I passed through bad times. And of course people, and of course one of the best thing that I proud that like after funeral of my fellow, I just write to Rick and said, fuck that, Rick, I'm ready, let's do something, let's I don't care about my scare to talk to people, like let's do something valuable for Ukrainian soldiers. Yeah, and after that, like these 3 weeks, I believe we on streams like from 2 to 4 times per week, I believe, even 5 times per week. Yeah. And somehow energy appeared, because before that I was like zombie. Yeah, thank you, Starsky, for such question. It's really like it remind again like what's really going on, what was in 2024, and yeah, nice question.
Yep. Yeah, guys, you both have a lot of supportive commentaries there in the chat, and I think it's very important to have purpose. Without purpose, we don't we don't live. We have nothing to live for without purpose. So I'm really happy that you're doing what you're doing, and I'm so proud to have you as my friends. But let's talk a bit about something more fun, let's say. So I think you probably saw that hysterical speech of Joe Rogan the other day when Russia hit Dnipro with Oreshkin.
Yeah.
Horishki, yeah. Roman, did you see that speech?
About that, no, but no.
Well, Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan. Rick, I know that you saw that chat.
I heard, won't believe it.
But not this speech.
But I missed. I know Joe Rogan, and I too missed that one. So you need to tell us what was there. How hysterical was he? And he was afraid of Russia?
Really? He was extremely hysterical. He was like, those people, those crazy people are now shooting missiles at Russia. What are they doing? That will bring us to the World War III. And Russians hit them with that ICBM that carries nukes. This one didn't carry nuke, but if it but if the next one does, that would be like World War III. Why can't you just, why do you keep pushing us to the World War III and basically blaming Ukrainians for, not dying? Like, why don't you finally die? And so we could sleep peacefully. And I was thinking, do we have Joe Rogan in Ukraine? How do you think?
Someone who is saying that stuff, just like him, right?
Well, like a character like Joe Rogan. Do we have anything like that in Ukraine?
Absolutely. I'm thinking of who that is. Roman, anyone comes to your mind?
I believe all the old school collaborations, like from Party Regionів party or stuff like that. So they still exist. I mean, maybe not somebody in particular, but we have a lot of Russian spy who like being in Ukraine parliament and just talk something about maybe we should stop this war. A lot of people die. Maybe we just stop frozen the conflict, or just let's organize some election or stuff like that, because Russia want us like legitimate president. Yes, because Russia push us to have legitimate president, not so-called Zelensky and stuff like that.
Well, are you talking about them being in Ukraine, or those who went out and keep doing that propaganda?
I'm talking about like in general. Do we have somebody who we can call like Ukrainian Joe Rogan? And I think I know such person.
Tell us. No one comes to my mind.
Dmitry Gordon.
Yeah. He said the war will end tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you can see that on your screen, but he's on our screen right now.
Let me check.
Our dear viewers, that is like Ukrainian
yes.
Joe Rogan. The other day, the dude said that the war ends on like December 30th, or something like that. Anyway, like that could be our Joe Rogan, actually. A couple words about Dmytro Gordon. So he is chief editor of the yellowest newspaper possible in Ukraine. Okay, and why he became famous? He became famous because he was selling Yushin-Se pyramids. Do you remember that shit, guys?
I don't remember that shit. I was too young, but that dude built a pyramid. I've read about that stuff.
Oh my God. So Yushin-Se pyramid, basically imagine yourself like a tiny pyramid made out of like wires, okay? Like golden wires. And it was like in the 90s, I believe, or something like that. There was like actual advertising. I would show it to you, but I have no translation for it. But it was like this dude was on the TV and he's like, I remember I saw that when I was in school, I think. He was like, my good friend was dying. Unfortunately, nothing could save him. And when I heard about Yushin-Se pyramids for the first time, I didn't believe it, but I decided to use this opportunity to save my friend, as my saving straw. And he holds like actual pyramids on a TV. And he's like, pyramids Yushin-Se, you gotta buy them because they can like charge water. They can make your scars disappear. They don't help much against Russian terrorism. They don't make Putin disappear. But other than that, basically, you can use them, to increase your manpower, manly power, and you know what I'm talking about. OnlyFans reach and engagement and stuff like that. So
Interesting.
he literally has like this house in the Kiev downtown, and there's this like huge terrace. I saw that myself with my own eyes. On a terrace, there's like big pyramids, and inside of that pyramid, there's water that is being charged with like cosmic rays, like extraterrestrial energy and stuff like that. I think he can be definitely nominated Joe Rogan of Ukraine, in my opinion.
Yeah, he could be. He's also famous he's famous of doing the interviews with different pro-Russian politicians, musicians, and stuff like that.
Strelkov, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I even didn't know that he's done one with Strelkov. Guys, Hirkin Strelkov, that dude who basically started all that shit on Slavyansk. He's how do you call him? He was commanding the units who started the war in Donetsk Oblast in 2014. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Absolutely. What was the most? Sorry, I literally just had like double doner kebab, guys. Roman, I see you yawning. I will not keep you guys for long.
It's all right.
What was the most important thing you guys have learned in year 2024, if there is such thing? Rick?
The most important thing. Well, I would like to say something funny, but I'm not such a clever guy as you, Starsky. Damn it, I wish I would be one. But, what? What have I
You're
learned?
extremely humble, my brother.
Just, I think I'm just realistic. Yeah. Once again, what thing, like the most surprising or which one? Because I think I missed.
What have you learned in year 2024, like you personally?
Mm-hmm.
Something eye-opening.
Eye-opening. Oh, actually, I think I learned it maybe in 2023 already, but in 2024, I got convinced that the democratic world and all the leaders in it, almost all the leaders, like just a few of them, we can count them on the fingers of one hand, they are weak and indecisive, and they are leading this world to the World War III, especially after they did not react properly to North Korea joining Russian forces on the battlefield, and they keep letting them do what they do. They keep doing business with Russia. They are buying gas and oil from Russia these days. It's weakness, and that weakness is leading them to be fully engaged. It's inevitable now, in my opinion, it's inevitable to also be engaged in World War III. So that was a disappointing, eye-opening discovery for me this year, and I now know that we need to actually rely on ourselves. Ukrainians need not to rely on the partners, because partners will either let us down, or they will be just too busy with their own wars in the future to provide us with some military aid. We need to build our own rockets. We need to produce ideally more than 10 million drones a year. It's 10 times bigger than we produced them in 2024. And that's the scale that is needed. And we need to do all of that with our partners like Denmark, for example, who invested millions, well, hundreds of millions of euros this year into our military production. But as I told you, at some point they might also be engaged in the war against Russia or China or all them together, and that war is already going. For now, it is just on a stage of so-called hybrid war, the war that is not an open military invasion into the country, but it is damaging those countries. They are sabotaging a lot of stuff there. Planes started falling so frequently. Cables underwater in the Baltic Sea started being torn, and all of that is already an aggression, and they don't have the guts to say that we're at war with Russia because it's too dangerous for them, in their opinion. Well, of course it's dangerous, but to be honest, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for a leader who will say openly and won't be afraid of the consequences, because the consequences are going to be much bigger and heavier and tougher if they keep doing this, if they keep acting like no one is attacking them. And openly say, one of those leaders should openly say we're in war, at war with Russia, and we need to act accordingly. And we need to produce weapons accordingly, and we need to shoot down Russian planes if they're entering our airspace, and Russian drones too, and not just let them easily like fly there without any I'm forgetting words, sorry guys, but fly them so easily, and we need to not escort them out of our space, of our airspace. We need to shoot them fucking down. That's what we need to do, and that's what we're waiting from the leaders in Ukraine. I mean, from the leaders all over the world, but we in Ukraine are waiting for them to start doing that, to explain it to you better. Thank you, guys. That's my discovery.
Good shout, bro. And I, by the way, I would like to address the question from Joseph, who asks who is buying gas from Putin. So until 1st of January 2025, it was January, right? Until the 1st of January, Hungary and Slovakia were buying gas from Russia, because Ukraine had this pipeline coming from Russia and through Ukrainian territory to Hungary and further to Slovakia. So they were buying gas from Russia and basically funding years of Russian further aggression of Ukraine, because Russia would receive approximately $7 billion annually from those countries for selling the gas. So you can imagine that is literally 3-4 years. And also LNG, liquefied natural gas, that is mostly purchased by countries like France, Belgium, and Spain. That is in the statistics. You can Google that. So those countries keep buying liquefied natural gas. And even though the scale of European imports of Russian gas is miserable as of today, because since 2022, they gradually they found new sources and they gradually abandoned basically Russian resource market, but there are still companies buying that stuff. So I hope that this addresses your question. And Roman, what did you learn in year 2024?
Okay, first of all of us, we can see how encouragement actually works on people, and especially on the Rick, the Ukrainian, because when he called himself humble and Starsky said, no, you can do this. So Rick's speech was worthy as a world's leader, president. So
well, thank you.
it was so patient and so emotional, and motivation speech. So after such speeches, I believe revolution could start. So Rick, it was amazing.
Thank you.
I really felt some energy and adrenaline, because we must do that. All what you said to us.
Thank you. Very.
This is the magic which is actually happened right now in the live stream. From humble to world conqueror.
Well, this is why we're bros. You want to know what I learned?
Yes, for sure.
I learned my new nickname, Operator Starving, because that was my that was me, like on the New Year's Eve. We went with my lady to this mall, and guys, you won't believe it. So imagine, you know what doner is, right? Doner kebab.
Yeah.
Like there's this big piece of meat turning, like turning, and they like cut this meat and like basically this is a Turkish doner. So you won't believe it. They freeze it. So they cut the meat and they freeze it, and then they sell it like in a supermarket, like doner, like frozen doner.
Oh shit.
And they also sell like French fries. So you buy French fries, you buy frozen doner, you throw it on the frying pan like together, and you mix like you stir everything, and then you put it on the plate, and then you take like this yogurt, but not sweet yogurt. In Ukraine, we all got used to like sweet yogurt with fruits and berries, like yogurt that tastes basically like smetana with greenery, and you put it on top. Guys, this is freaking amazing. I learned that instead of paying like 10 or 12 euro for like a big portion of doner, you can literally buy this because it's cheap, and you can make it at home.
Well, good
oh my god!
discovery.
I literally had like 2 portions like before the stream. I feel like operator starving now. Whom would you guys call a person of the year 2024?
That's a good question. I won't go first. Starsky, let's begin with you.
Person of the year 2024. Oh my god. Let me see. I would go with Timothy Snyder, because not only he does a lot in terms of destroying Russian disinformation, but also he does a lot of fundraisers for Ukraine. Timothy Snyder, that's one. The other one would be, I would say, who impressed me so much last year? Probably my lady, because we didn't see each other for like 7 years. So like those two, I think.
Okay.
I know that it's a tough question. You have time to think, guys. We're not running. We're not running away.
Yeah. Roman, do you have someone on your mind?
No.
Okay. I actually have a few people. You said no, so it's my turn, right?
No.
No. Let it be. Let it be Starsky's turn again. Then
I just while I can't remind any like particular person, I want to address my respect to all who live like an honorable man in this earth, and just didn't stay away from such legendary events. So my answer is any person who just try their best and to help democracy win terrorism.
Oh, we have a version in the chat. Someone special says Alexander Usyk.
Well,
No,
not my person.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Well,
I remember his story, guys.
Yeah,
Crime
generally,
is
why?
what? I hate such person who just change his boots and just like catch the trend, just realize the direction of the wind and what to do. Yeah, a lot of stuff is doing, but still I have a good memory sometimes.
The only thing that changed his position towards Russians was when Kadyrovite Chechens took a shit in the cradle of his baby in his abandoned house in Irpin. That was the only thing that changed his attitude towards Russians. That's as far as I remember. Or was it Vasya Lomachenko? I'm not really sure.
Lomachenko is still Vatnik.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
generally, when there was this fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, I would root for both, maybe even preferably for Tyson Fury. Why? It's because there are two types of sportsmen, right? One type is like Messi. Messi is a soccer player. He's talented. He was like that from birth. He was born a soccer player, right? He had talent. Then there is Leonardo. My God, what was his name? Leo. So he was not in good shape when he was a teenager. He was bulky and stuff, and he didn't look well. Now he's a superstar because he put so much effort in training and becoming better. So I really like talented guys are cool. Guys who work hard, they're much cooler. But then there's Tyson Fury, who is both talented and both hardworking, because he discovered his talent through hard work. Basically, why did he start boxing? Is because his family, that's again according to the gossips I heard, his family needed money and food and stuff. He needed to provide for his family. That's why he decided to become a boxer, right? Become a fighter. Ronaldo, it wasn't me. Yeah, thank you so much, Ronaldo. That is the dude. So Tyson Fury started working out like crazy, and then he discovered that he can be extremely cool boxer, and that is something absolutely interesting. Marty Moose asks this question: oh my God, what did I do? Is Usyk pro-Russian? So the reason why Ukrainians don't really like Usyk, right, is because right before the very, very first day of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, Alexander Usyk and Lomachenko, they were vatniks. They were completely pro-Russian folks. Usyk kept living in the occupied Russian occupied Ukrainian Crimea. Right, he kept living there. He had his house there. He would go there and back, easily. And they both were fanatical members of the Russian Church, which we know, we understand. So that was the problem. They would talk all kinds of shit about Ukrainians, about their own people, right? And Lomachenko would share in his Instagram video reels portraying Russian Spetsnaz. That was fun until the day the Russian Spetsnaz came to his house in Bucha or Irpin in Kyiv Oblast. So after that, they kind of changed their minds. But before that, it was absolutely different. We hated them, actually.
Only one of them changed their mind. Only Usyk is actively pro-Ukrainian, and actually Lomachenko keeps continuing, keeps saying the Russian narratives about the Russian Patriarchy Church in Ukraine, that it's being oppressed and stuff like that. And the Lomachenko is a total vatnik, and he's openly keeps vatniking around here in Ukraine. So that dude is messed up. Usyk, yes, he turned 180 degrees, as we say in Ukraine, switched shoes, as Roman said before. So yeah, he kind of just said, "Oh, I'm pro-Ukrainian now," and maybe something really changed in his head. But still, we cannot unsee and unhear what he was doing and saying before the full-scale invasion. And now Zelensky is doing so much news about him and these personal calls like, good luck, Tiger. We like, and all that shit. And it's such a populism and just making propaganda. But yeah, we have what we have, and he's doing a good propaganda, I would say. So thank you, Usyk, for rooting for Ukraine and actually advocating for Ukraine. I can give him credit on that. But I actually would like to call my people of the year, and I think the person of the year for me will be Bogdan Krotevich, because he decided to openly confront the Soviet general Sodol, who was, as Krotevich said, who killed more Ukrainian soldiers than any Russian general. And that Sodol guy, actually, unfortunately, he is just escaping all the justice and prosecution that he deserves, thanks to corruption. And it's outrageous that our governmental bureau of investigation is just not opening the case against him, despite they legally should, and nothing can stop them. They still don't do it, and Bogdan Krotevich is trying to make law work and trying to make the Ukrainian constitution work, but still he is not successful in that. So that man and his courage is making him a person of the year. He's a chief of staff of Azov Brigade. He was in Russian captivity. That dude is a tough guy, and he went through so much shit that we cannot even imagine, and he has the guts to do what is needed to be done. The other person of the year, the volunteer of the year for me, is Sternenko. Obviously, he's Russories is just something. Is a phenomenon. It's crazy, huge support for Ukrainian army, and not only a support, he's not just providing drones. He and his team, they are developing technologies. They are implementing those technologies in new ways, like Nebesny Russories, which is a sky Russories, which is to destroy the Russian reconnaissance drones with FPVs. This project, which he calls a project of the year, and I totally agree with that, it really let us stop Russians from hitting us constantly, like 130 or 50 kilometers deep into our rear with ballistic missiles, watching at it with their reconnaissance drones. It almost stopped completely. And that is just during this year. I would say even not the whole year, just like half a year. During half a year in 2024, I say this year, but it's last year already. It's the 2nd of January 2025. Oh my God, time flies, and it's gonna be 3 years of this war soon. But this volunteer, and he's not only a volunteer, he's an activist, he's a leader of opinions, and he is really also telling the truth. He's talking, he's transferring the messages from our soldiers, who are telling them about the need of the army reform, and he is really endangering himself. And deep state, group community, they also put themselves in danger because they are telling the truth too, and also demanding some changes, demanding for at least some after combat review, right? After action review, probably, that is called. I think the changes are coming a bit slower than they should be. But still, it's better late than never, right? So our army is going to be changing for the better. I have no doubt in it. But still, we all together, the Ukrainian society, as a Ukrainian society, we need to work on that. We need to demand those reforms. We need to, become more active, become the members of different committees that observe. Like, for example, we have like every organ here in Ukraine. By organ, I mean every establishment in Ukraine should have its own Rada Громадянського контролю, which is a council of the civilian control. So basically, we are controlling our government, and different experts are joining that, real experts who have a lot of experience working in government and who are activists and not, most of them are really honest and decent people, and they try to fight corruption by observing different establishments. So we gotta do that also. We gotta gain expertise, we gotta stay decent people, and it is all very encouraging. I mean, seeing volunteers like Sternenko, seeing soldiers, officers in this case, like Bogdan Krotevich, is very inspiring. And my personal person of the year, and also of my community, I think, is Aziza Eskander. That's definitely a person of the year. I don't know, Starsky, if I told you about Aziza, maybe you noticed it on my channel if you have time for that. But she's a very talented Crimean Tatar singer, painter, and we were totally blown away by her talent, and right now helping her to get out there, to be heard by more people. And we actually, me and Roman, we have a chance to hear her in person in 2 days. On Saturday, she's going to be giving a concert here in Kyiv. So we're lucky to hear that offline. And anyone who comes to Ukraine, guys, you will also have that chance. We have a few rollers who came to Ukraine and really heard her live offline. So these are my 3 persons of the year. Sorry that it took so long. I got carried away by some socially important stuff, and also stuff important for our victory. Still need to inform people on that.
Owen Lloyd in the commentaries says that maybe Rick the Ukrainian should run for president. Some good ideas and observations. Would you like to be a president, Rick?
Being a president means actually working by the rules of politicians. I think it's impossible to stay like 100% decent and honest person being a politic, because too much at stake. And you sometimes need to you need to do the smoothen, or smother someone like with your diplomacy. So that shit is something that I don't have, the patience for, at least for now. Maybe in the future, who knows? Maybe I gain some patience. Right now, I'm too emotional to be a politician and not to say into the face of the people what I am thinking of them. So yeah, not for now, but in the future, who knows? I don't know. Anything can happen.
You could be our Parasyuk.
Parasyuk.
Hey,
I forgot who Parasyuk is. I apologize, Starsky.
Come on, Parasyuk, the Revolution of Dignity. He went on stage and he's like, let's destroy the world.
You remember that? I actually remember his second name, Parasyuk. I remember, it's something familiar, but you remember who I was in 2014. Just a dude interested in his own life, and I only discovered the world of politics and real dignity, in 2022. And I'm still learning a lot about Revolution of Dignity too. So thank you guys, by the way. Both of you, each of you taught me a lot about Revolution of Dignity. Thank you.
Bro, seriously, I'm so happy that you are now in Kyiv, not in Donbass, and I'm sure that Roman will agree with me, because otherwise you would probably, and most probably, get freaking mobilized and sent to a freaking meat assault.
Yep.
So I'm extremely happy that you make this conscious decision to move to Kyiv.
I'm
that
happy
was
myself.
something crucial. Yeah, otherwise, I don't know. We would be like launching like 120 millimeter at your position right now.
Probably.
That would suck.
I think I think I would be dead by now because it's been 3 years and all who has been mobilized, forcefully mobilized, so-called mobilized in 2022, they are already dead. Most of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's a fact. The craziest thing is that Russia is the biggest murderer of people in Donbass. That is insane. Roman, by the way, I know one thing that might cheer you up. So the other day, Germany officially, where was that? Just a second. Germany delivered 420 sniper rifles called LHR 338 to Ukraine, and also a fuckload of ammunition for Ukrainian snipers. It's on our screen right now, and I don't remember what kind of rifle did you have, by the way.
I have also a German sniper rifle, Zauer S100, but it's a bolt sniper rifle, bolt mechanism, and I have a 6.5 Creedmoor caliber, but this one is good. But the not good news, Starsky, that right now it's a war of FPV drones, not snipers, and all my colleagues, like we have this pretty big interview with the War Archive, it's YouTube channel about war. So it was maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, and they ask a lot of questions about sniping, and right now, like all of my friends who are snipers, they can't work because it's possible to do only in some urban conditions when you can hide at least. But for field or tree line snipers, game is over pretty quickly, because if somebody finds you, like infinity number of FPV just eliminate you sooner or later.
Yeah, that is so crazy.
Thank you, as Jake Bro used to say, thank you German people for support.
Germans are amazing.
Yes.
It's so crazy when you're sniping. One thing that you must do generally as a sniper is you gotta like stay at the same spot, not move for like extended period of time, and you gotta be also sure that your blending with the environment is perfect, so you're not found. And when they shoot at you, sometimes you don't really understand whether it's because they like found you or it's just they shoot in your general direction. You cannot like recognize sometimes, and like it's crazy. Sometimes you just have this very very big desire to run and then pee, but first run, of course. But then you like stop yourself because, oh no, let's wait. Okay. Shit. Bad memories from 2019. We were not shelled by, but we were shot from like AGS, like incessantly. AGS, automatic grenade launcher, like incessantly. And I personally couldn't understand like whether it was like because that. But again, FPV drones, if they're equipped with FLIR, with infrared, then doesn't matter how well you are blending with the environment, like it won't help you. Shit. Yeah. 21st century. Oh my god. Okay, guys, let's talk about this. What kept you inspired and motivated in year 2024? Rick, you first.
I think I shared that one in the beginning. The people, the amazing people, free people, people who can think critically, members of my community, your community, and many other amazing communities out there who are standing for Ukraine, truly standing for Ukraine, not profiting from it like a few channels I also discovered this year. And well, that is something that really inspires me. The people who act, people who care, you know, because indifference kills, as many signs on Freya's rally say. And while we have people who are not indifferent, who keep fighting with us as they can, you know, someone on the battlefield, because we have so many volunteers joining the Ukrainian army too, and someone there in the chat and on PayPal and on a donor box, you know, and they really give me a lot of inspiration, each of them. Also the guests I invite to the stream, the people I meet here in Ukraine who are volunteers, who are soldiers, you know, and especially soldiers. Their stories, like I meet a lot of volunteer soldiers, and stories how they completely changed, transformed their life, and really put it on risk to fight for their country. It is something that is inspiring a lot and gives me the energy to go on. Because if, you know, I look at them and I understand that all my problems, all my, you know, actually they are not problems. All the challenges that I have, they are nothing. And they are, you know, being, I'm getting them in comfort, in more or less safe life here in Kyiv. And damn, I can overcome them easily if those guys could overcome what they've went through, you know, so much shit. By the way, Roman is a big part of that inspiration. That is also a soldier, and we definitely. Damn, I am coming to that point again, Starsky. Let's talk about our plotting after that, because there's a cool thing that is connected to Roman there that that is needed to be mentioned. So that's it.
Yeah,
that's
we will, bro. But first, I gotta address this commentary,
of course,
that I find absolutely amazing. Why are you fighting against Russians? Asks this individual in the chat. You have more in common with them than with Germans and French. Germans and French are not reliable and not free. Also, they don't like you. Peace, bros. So to make it really short, right, we are fighting against Russians because Russians are trying to kill us. That's thing number one. And thing number two, by saying that we have a lot in common with Russians, you are insulting Ukrainians right now, because basically you're saying that we steal toilets, that we rape toddlers and shit like that. You know, dear Benjamin, whatever, you know, I understand what kind of person you are. It's when a rapist rapes your wife in front of you, right? Instead of helping her, you think, oh, we have a lot in common with this dude, actually, because generally I do the same, you know, like time to time. Grow up, okay? Peace, bro. Grow up. Get real, right? So that's the thing. Roman, what about you? Who motivates you?
Wow.
Or what motivates you?
It's like I feel like I have no rule. I have no like I can't talk about motivation because most of the year 2024 I was just do nothing. I was forget about all the people. I was just in hospitals, and I was like useless. And yeah, before on the battlefield I could talk a lot about motivation, but right now I knew a lot about how to live without any motivation. So I have no right to talk about such like high things, because I believe I waste a lot of time just do nothing instead of do something. That's why I can't maybe later when I have some thoughts about it, and I can mix this experience from the battlefield and from the rehabilitation. I could make some smart conclusion, but for now I'm in the middle of understanding this process. It's pretty like deep and deep question, I believe.
One of our friends in the chat says that they actually know what motivates you. Trucks motivate Roman big time.
They do.
But we will talk about this in just a second. I still have some absolutely boring questions for you, my friends.
No,
because
they're
again,
not.
you know, we people talk about what to expect in Ukraine in 2025. Will there be ceasefire? Will the conflict will be frozen? And everybody speak about it in like United States, in France, in Germany, in Poland, like everywhere. But generally, ask Ukrainians, okay? Because a lot of experts were saying that Ukraine was gonna fall in March 2022. Like, okay, don't ask Douglas McGregor, ask Roman or Rick. They know the answer. What is your anticipation from year 2025? Do you believe that the war might possibly end this year or not? Will it continue? And what do you personally expect from this year?
Should I go first?
Of course.
I mean, like, first of
Yes,
all,
you
thank you for, thank you for mentioning that it is good to hear the Ukrainians about Ukraine and about Ukrainians themselves, because West Plain is killing me this year, and it was one of those disappointments that I had. But you know, what I want to say about year 2025, guys, unfortunately, if Putin won't be killed this year, if there's going to be no like out of a sudden revolution in Russia, which is not really likely. Unfortunately, both of these events they may happen. Like, there's always a chance, but it's tiny. It's tiny, just like being killed by a missile in Ukraine. It's less than being killed in a car accident, which may happen to you at any point, especially if you're a driver, especially if you're a reckless driver like me. Then, like, you know, it's just so if that won't happen, which is not that likely, I think this year is going to be just like 2024, and even harder, guys. Because, unfortunately, Russia is still pretty strong. Sanctions are being bypassed. Sanctions are being working, but not as efficient as they should have been. And Russia is gaining allies. Russia is gaining millions of ammunition from North Korea, and North Korea ramp up the production is actually with the help of Russia, because Russia gives them materials and they have enough plants to produce those. So there's gonna be no artillery shell hunger, as Prigozhin was, yelling back then. Shaigo, Gerasimov. Где, сука, боеприпасы? Где, сука, боеприпасы? Yeah. So, there's gonna be no hunger. They have enough, guys, and they are producing them glide bombs, and they have unlimited men. Which are the zombie men, and they won't ever start considering leaving because they are slaves. And I learned that slave mentality every day when I'm watching Dmytro Karpenko. Zolkin stopped doing the interviews with prisoners of war, with Russian prisoners of war. He's sick of it. He's sick of that slavery, He is just, he's just given up, really explaining something to them. And Dmytro Karpenko is doing a great job. And I'm looking at it. It's the third year. Guys, they are the fucking same as they were in 2022. They are brainwashed zombies. Nothing can really make them make another choice. They will come to Ukraine. They will keep invading. And unfortunately, in 2025, we will lose more towns and cities. We will lose more amazing men and women who are defending us. And the faster we do the real army reform, the faster we have less of them being killed, and we really will start treating more, because some brigades are amazing in that. They're really treating their soldiers, with respect, and they're really looking different ways to save their lives, to increase the chances of them surviving on a battlefield. But the faster we get rid of the brigades who are just sending men on some suicide missions, the faster we will get closer to our victory. So we need to do a lot of work on the inside. So that work will be hard. That work will be bloody. There will be still a lot of scandals and bad news. But that's the work of Ukrainians. That's the fate of Ukrainians. We always need to do everything in spite and not thanks to. We always need to. It's in our. I think it's in our DNA. We are doing everything through struggle, through crazy challenges, through genocide of Russians, and we still prevail. Like, we will prevail, just like we prevailed in these 100 years. Of course, we were for 100 years under Russian occupation too, but they did not break us. The Ukrainian nation is stronger than ever right now. We really maintained our state for 3 years under such crazy pressure of Russian army, which is a huge one, which is growing. And actually, it's not one army, it's 2 armies now. North Koreans have joined them, and we're really withstanding this crazy pressure on Russian territory, guys. Don't forget about that. We will definitely see some surprises like Kursk operation in 2025. And we'll see a lot of fires in Russia. We will see their oil refineries burning. We will see their ammunition storages and depots exploding, just like in 2024. That year was awesome in this regard, and Russia will be burning even more and deeper Russian territory will be burning. So it's going to be a lot of challenges, a lot of death and destruction and grief here in Ukraine. I had a lot of grief in 2024, and I will unfortunately have more of it in 2025, and we just need to get ready for this, and we just need to embrace the situation we're in and find the best solutions, the best ways to get out of it. So here's another motivational speech for you guys. Everything will be Ukraine. Thank you very much for listening to these 10 minutes of my speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your anticipations, bro. And Roman, what do you think about 2025? What to expect?
First of all, I can predict 100% for sure that we could expect Rick's 6 and 8 hour stream. I hope so. It's guaranteed.
Nice.
And
we were joking with we were before the stream started. We were joking with Ali that actually, if you feed Rick enough coffee, he can literally provide enough electricity, for, for a small town.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't live on coffee. I live on donations. So if you throw enough donations at me, then I will be producing enough energy to feed a small town. Yeah.
Thank God you don't live on coffee, bro, because if you live on coffee, that might cause you, to detonate, to like gain critical mass and just, yeah. So yeah, Roman.
You want some other predictions?
No, generally, like if you finished, then I will share some of my predictions as well.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to hear you because really a long time no hear you.
So 2026, and it's just my personal opinion, based 2026 will be the critical year for the terrorist federation, because in 2026 Russia will run out of majority of their tanks and armored vehicles, and financial crisis will also strike, because the Russian expenses, considering their current financial dynamics, will reach their peak, will reach the critical point in mid 2026. So I bet like dirty $10 on 2026, not 2025. Generally, because Russia is like it's not producing tanks, it's depleting their tanks, right? Regarding their shells, I will just extinguish a bit a bit of your Zrada Rig as well. Maybe it will motivate you too, because Ukraine switched to 155 millimeter shells. Russia receives millions of 152 millimeter shells that are not as good as the shells that we have. Germany alone produces 400,000 artillery shells for Ukraine. United States produce approximately 1,155 millimeter shells for Ukraine. So for the first time, we more or less reached the parity in terms of artillery, which may not seem so for some specific commanders on the front line. But at the same time, whatever happens on the front line is extremely dramatical and emotional, because if you're a military that went through like front line and went to like the level of strategical planning, the headquarters on the level of battalion and brigade, you understand that behind emotions, which always happen, because you're losing friends, you're losing your personnel and things like that. Besides that, there is a broader picture which luckily tells us that Russia is losing strategically, even though it has the tactical advantages, tactical gains every day. But again, we're talking about a front line that is as long as 1,100 kilometers, right? Or more.
Yeah. 1.5.
And we are talking about 1.5. And we are talking about Russian gains that are on a daily basis are as big as 14 square kilometers.
Some days they are bigger. Like remember Vuhledar, when it has fallen, it was more than 100 square kilometers per few days. Sometimes it happens.
Yes, exactly. But it was a necessity. So at the same time, they retreated in Vovchansk. So again, also we reestablished some of our territories. Again, fresh information as of yesterday in Kursk region. Some of our territory in Kursk region, in Kursk Oblast of Ukraine. So generally, it's not that bad. Why artillery shells are so important? I talked about it yesterday to our friends here in the chat, and the normative, right? The standard for the Russian artillery battery, in order to strike an object, they need to spend approximately 12 152 millimeter shells for one target to hit one object. So according to NATO standards, that is 3 shells, 3 155mm shells, to reach the same goal. So Russia receives like millions of shells, but at the same time, Ukraine doesn't need that many to reach the same objectives. At the same time, Russia is not receiving those shells for free. Russia has to pay, and not only Russia has to pay, but those poor bastards that come to Ukraine and die, they have to pay basically from their own pocket. So that is another thing. There are a lot of discouraging news at the front line, but when you look more strategically, more globally at it, Ukraine can lose only in one. In case one thing happens, in case Ukraine is completely abandoned by our allies. 2022, in fact, was the hardest year. Not just the hardest year, but hardest months. Because March, April, May, we didn't have anything. The world was literally standing like this, and looking at us, and I'm like, and like, will they collapse or not? Douglas McGregor was making all kinds of those crazy predictions that Ukrainian army will give up in 2 weeks. They're all surrounded and stuff. And only in May, United States signed the land lease with Ukraine. Only in May, only 2 months later. And Ukraine only had reserve to fight for like 3 months. So May was extremely critical for Ukraine. If not that, basically we would not be talking here right now. So there are discouraging news on the tactical level, which is understandable because this is the most emotional level, right? This is the most dramatical level. We've been there. When you are there on a tactical level, on a position, on the front line, you can see a lot of things that you will never forget, right? And you want to talk about it. But when you are on a strategical level, you can see broader picture, and you can see things like Russia's only allies, right? Who's Russia's only allies? It's like Iran, North Korea. Syria is not there anymore. Then Russia's financial collapse, Russia's all kinds of troubles with the ruble that hit the bottom and continues, and things like that. 2026, again, according to all the statistics that were collected throughout these years, 2026 might be decisive. Okay, I would personally bet on this. I predicted that this shit may continue for 10 years, but Russia cannot do this because Russia still needs fast victory. And fast for Russia is something like middle 2025, which is nonsense. It will not happen. Russia cannot win in 2025 because Russia needs more male population than they physically have in Russia.
What about freezing the conflict, the war? Do you think if Trump and Putin, they manage together to freeze it, what then? If they manage to do it in 2025, which I doubt they will, what if in 2026 we're going to be weaker? Let's think hypothetically. We're going to be weaker in 2026. Let's say US abandons us and Russia is weak, and what they need is a pause, and they got that pause. And since 2026 it's frozen and they're growing up their forces. What's then?
Ceasefire will not happen, but I will not bet on this because Financial Times did their prediction for year 2025. They did predictions for the past year, and they were correct most of the time. But anyways, it will not happen because it's not the objective, neither for Russians, not for us. Russians don't want a ceasefire, they want Ukraine. they don't want Donbass. They want whole Ukrainian territory because this provides them with Carpathian mountains that can be used as a good defense line, for example, against the Eastern European NATO members. And also it gives them access to like Poland, etc., etc. And they don't need Ukraine as a state, as a nation. They hate us.
Yeah.
So they need Ukrainian resources, they need Ukrainian population, they need Ukrainian men, they need Ukrainian manpower.
Yeah.
So they need fast victory. They cannot continue this for until 2036.
But
they
if they put
now.
it on pause, right, they will be able to continue it in the future.
If they put it on pause, that will be the end for Putin. If Putin says we are ready for a ceasefire, then all kinds of freaking Wagnerites, all kinds of criminals, all kinds of Russian regular troops that were fighting and losing their men, they will be like, "Are you freaking nuts? Like, is that your victory? That is all you have?" You know? So it will not happen. Also, Ukraine will not let it happen because we have people. And people will never agree, and you as Ukrainians, Roman as a military, you will also agree on this, that Ukrainian people will never agree on a ceasefire. Because Ukrainians have homes, and Ukrainians lost so many relatives and sons and fathers. So it will not happen like that. Ukrainians want Russia to be punished. Ukrainians want Russia to withdraw from Ukraine. That is the only thing we want. Russians want Ukraine to stop existing. Russians want to attach Ukraine to Russia. That is what Russians want. And there is no way to freeze that shit. Now, imagine that in parallel reality, this happened. And, for example, British forces sent their, or like British, like French forces, sent their UN peacekeepers to the demilitarized zone. And imagine that some of their peacekeepers get killed by Russian shells.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reaction? So if NATO decides that, okay, we will sacrifice those people because we don't want World War II, right? So those soldiers will just die there and we will just pretend nothing happened. Then Russia is like, oh my God, so we can do it, right? So let's fuck them all. And Russia will be given a signal that they can basically do whatever they like. So goodbye, United States, goodbye, NATO, goodbye, everyone. If NATO responds, if NATO is conducting like a full-scale response, to retaliate this, that is basically what NATO is afraid of the most, right? That is the World War III. So this is not possible completely. Neither freeze conflict with UN peacekeepers there, plus UN peacekeepers can be only deployed due to the UNSC decision. UNSC doesn't decide shit because there's Nebenzia and they are useless. So that will not happen. Neither freezing nor UN peacekeepers, nothing like that. What happens is Russian collapse in 2026 because even though Russia is big, but it's a paper tiger. It's very good at killing civilian population, but it's really bad at having strong foundation that is civil society that doesn't exist in Russia, that doesn't decide anything. In Ukraine, it does. Mm-hmm. And they don't have international support. Again, Russian annual GDP is like smaller than in Italy. And combined GDP of countries supporting Ukraine is approximately 40 to 45 times bigger than in Russia. So we need to work really hard to lose this war, but we also need to work really hard to win. So that's my anticipation from year 2025 and year 2026. But besides that, my friends, I have some incredible information for you because generally year 2025 will suck 100%. So we have a small statistic here. For example, do you know anything about Chinese calendars, like Year of Monkey, Year of Pinocchio, Year of Pig?
Snakes.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but 2025 is a year of snake. So I'm sure that Dmitro Hardon and Joe Rogan would love this. Okay, so Year of Snake is famous for, or rather notorious, for bringing all kinds of catastrophes. 1941, beginning of the German invasion of the Soviet Union. 1953, some of the biggest floods in Europe. 1965, war in Vietnam. 1977, the biggest air disaster in Tenerife, 583 people dead as a result. 1989, protests in Tiananmen in China. 2001, that is, by the way, 2001, 9/11, World Trade Center. 2013, a meteorite strike in Ural. Unfortunately, it wasn't successful, wasn't precise, but the civil war in Syria and some of the biggest typhoons or tsunamis in history, called Haiyan. So on the other hand, there are good dates as well, because 1953 Stalin died, and 1999 Berlin Wall collapsed. So who knows? Maybe this one, like once in a while, nature or some higher forces bring us something good. I'm sure that Joe Rogan would explain much better than me. He knows a lot of shit about this, higher materials, extraterrestrial life, and shit like that. But we gathered here, my friends, in order to plot shit. And we decided to plot the collapse of the Russian Federation. That literally starts with smaller things, right? In order to reach bigger results, you have to start with smaller steps. And I'm sure that Rick can explain a bit more about and Rick and Roman can explain a bit more about our little evil plot against the Terrorist Federation.
Roman, should we go sentence by the sentence? What do you think? Just joking.
I wasn't prepared for sentence for the sentence.
I know.
Just. But what are you talking about, guys? What's the plot? What's the plan? Share with me.
The plan we were talking about in the Telegram. Come on.
That plan has a link, Roman. There's a hint, and it has NAFO in it.
Hint link.
Yeah.
Yes, NAFO trucks. I heard about it.
Yeah. So, guys.
All right.
That's it.
Tell us about this.
So, guys, we are raising funds for 4 NAFO trucks, and that's a big sum of money. We're also raising funds. One of the trucks will be medevac for Buravi Brigade, National Guard Brigade. And next one is 59's. 59's motorized brigade. And there are 2 units from the 3rd Assault Brigade. One of the units are the friends of Roman, West Side. They are the drone unit. And it is big. It is the biggest one I've ever had. It was ambitious. I said, fuck it, we're capable of anything. And I challenged myself, and I took Roman and challenged him together with myself. And now we're challenging both of us, and we want to raise 90,000 euros. We've been raising for almost all December, and we're actually at a good spot at the moment. That spot is actually 49,694 euros. And we really need your help, guys, because we are doing so many streams together with Roman. these last 3 weeks, and we what? I won't say we're going slow. We're going pretty fast, but we need faster because soldiers are waiting, and they're waiting for almost a month already. And the longer we raise funds for these trucks, the longer they will be waiting. And at war, you never have enough time. You probably realize that. If you're in U.S. Army, you probably have some extra time because you're equipped with everything. We're fighting. Well, our army is not that equipped and not that supplied as the U.S. Army. So we need your help, guys. It is basically, I would say, all the additional equipment, except for the weapons themselves, is provided only by volunteers. Our government started to provide our army with drones this year. This year, it's really changing for the best. But the first 2 years, it was really like, it was only on volunteers, on the shoulders of volunteers. Just like me and Roman, but the other ones too, the bigger ones like Sternenko, the smaller ones, it doesn't matter, guys. Every bit helps, every donation helps. Either it is $5 or $100 or euros or 200 or whatever. It is all, it all sums up and gives us the equipment, and that equipment saves lives. So what do we have there? Starsky, may I ask you to show it on the screen again and scroll to the patches, because the patches are epic, and you can get one patch for donating 100 euros, and you can get accordingly 2 patches for 200 euros and 3 patches for 300 euros. And each patch in this campaign is unique and it has a story. Let's begin with the one at the center, which says Ultimate Resistance, and you see a handsome face there, and it's a face of our our friend Roman. So for me,
no way.
Yeah, can you imagine? You thought who that would be? Yeah, so if you scroll a bit lower, you will see the patches in the bigger scale, Starsky, if you're okay to do it.
I can't, bro, because it's a screenshot. I have pause.
Ah, okay. But you can post the link in the chat there, right?
Yes. There is a link posted by Newman right now. Guys, you can follow this link and you can see this yourself.
Starsky, when Roman told me that he was participating in Revolution of Dignity in 2013, 2014, and standing in the first rows there, then he was fighting in 2015 in Azov, then defending Ukraine again in 2022, 2023, and storming, assaulting, and really losing a lot of his health there. It actually made him a symbol of the ultimate resistance of Ukrainian people. For me, he is the symbol. This is why, guys, on that photo, you can see his photo and those words, because that man inspires me a lot. As I told you before, thank you, Roman, for inspiring me, and thank you for really serving our country in all of these hard times. And really, you and people like you, the volunteers, basically you saved us in 2014, you saved us in 2022, and in 2014. So guys, this patch is special for me. It was my idea. And Roman said, Roman, are you okay that your face is going to be on the patch? And he said, you know what? I don't care. The main thing is to raise funds for the trucks. The main thing is to provide them with that equipment. And I totally understand. And I think for a lot of you guys watching right now, Roman is that symbol of ultimate resistance too, just like for me. Let's talk about the Javelin patch. The story of this one is faster than Free Azov. So Roman was a Javelin operator, and Here on my channel, you probably have seen those different stickers for different weapons like Stinger, Javelin, Bradley, Abrams, HIMARS. We have the whole collection. The Javelin is the final one in the first 5 patches collection. We will extend that collection. I already extended it with Patriot, but Roman was operating a Javelin, and he says that that stuff is unfortunately outdated a bit because its targeting system was constantly giving him an error. This is why he was more successful in hitting tanks with NLAW than with a Javelin. But still, a good weapon that destroyed a lot of tanks, Soviet tanks, and also Russian tanks like T-90. Roman was telling us on the stream today that they were actually commanded to hunt and use Javelin and NLAW only for the newest models of the tanks and not waste them on other weapons, not weapons, armored vehicles, you know. And it's a pity, but still, we have what we have. Weapons are limited, and we need to use them that way. The last patch to finish, you know, with that collection of 3 patches. The last one is very important to me personally, since I do those Free Azov streams on Free Azov rallies every Sunday. I do it in any weather because for me it's important to support the families of the Ukrainian prisoners of war in Russian captivity who are constantly being tortured there, who are being mistreated, who are being starved, tortured and starved to death often. Russians are sometimes exchanging the bodies, and some of the bodies are confirmed prisoners of war, so they are just torturing them to death and sending bodies to Ukraine then. It's terrible, guys, and those families, they need your support. So by wearing this patch, you will also stand in solidarity with them. You will show them, you know, maybe not them. If you come to Ukraine and come to those rallies, you will show it to them directly. But there, in your countries, in your towns, cities, villages, you can show other people that you care and that you stand in solidarity with the families, with the captives themselves, because a lot of captives, after they're being exchanged, they come to these rallies and they thank us for standing for them, and they say that, you know, the newcomers, unfortunately, in Russian captivity, there are newcomers. People who are captured, they are telling them, those who are in captivity from the very Azovstal, from 2022, they are telling them that people are standing on the rallies every week for them and being their voice. And they're saying that it supports them. Not all of them. One guy told me straight to the face that what really supported him is that he knew that his family was waiting for them. But he still appreciated us standing for them there. So guys, it's in black and white because in United States you have the flag for POWs and missing in action, which is hanging under the U.S. flag on governmental buildings, and it has red as blood of our soldiers, which they lose a lot in that captivity. So Starsky, did you know about the POW and MIA flag in the United States?
No, I didn't.
If you Google it, maybe just for yourself, you guys all can Google it also. It is in black and white, and they really show solidarity and that they remember, that they care. They hang that flag, and I think we need to have the same flag here in Ukraine. This patch is not a flag, but it has the same meaning for me, and I would like you guys to all have the same meaning. So guys, 3 patches, €100 donation each. All money will be going for the trucks, for 3 generators, and 3 Starlinks also for the west side unit. Starsky, sorry that it took me so long to talk about the patches, but as you can see, it has a lot of meaning for me. and a lot of sense and purpose also. So thank you everyone for listening to another speech. Oh my God. I'm a Rick the spokesperson today. Damn.
Thank you for the information, bro, because it's important to keep talking about the guys that are still kept in Russian captivity and tortured and mistreated there, and remind every single day to Ukrainian society as well and to international community that they expect our support, our help, and our praise. So let's see if we have some commentaries, guys. I'm sure that you still have some strength left in yourself, to answer some of the questions from our viewers. So we have a question: is Javelin easy to learn how to use? Live to hunt and fish.
Roman?
Roman, I think it's a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I never operated Javelin. I only saw it.
Yeah, it's. I believe when you have enough time, like in American Army, you have a lot of trainings on these simulators on computer. You can be pretty friendly with that, but when you have 30-minute lesson on some paper, and then you should go to the battle with Javelin. No, it's not easy. It's very stressful, as I share with Rick this information, that such system has it's like an old computer, like from 80s or 90s, like this first big computer when you start, and you try to play your first games, and something went wrong, and just big error appear on your screen, and you must like reset it and start again. But in case with Javelin, you used to appear with such problem on the battlefield, and you try to shoot the real enemy's tank, who like drive pretty fast, and who also aiming at you, because you try to hunt the javelin operators. And in such way, it's pretty annoying when you try to understand what the hell on the screen, but your partners say, because you used to you look at the scope and you can see what's going on around you, and your partners say, dude, we should get out of here, because like enemy tank turn to your direction and try to shoot you. Yeah, it's pretty stressful, and if you're lucky enough to alive to share such stories, it means you just have like ultimate luckiness. Not ultimate resistance, but ultimate luckiness, to be honest. Yeah, and it's very heavy. Right now, it's no time for Javelin. It's time for a few drones.
Yeah, absolutely. How much time does Putin need? 2-3 months to fully resupply his front, then repush? I think more than 2-3 months, because we're talking about the enormous amount of tanks that he lost, and the tanks that were refurbished and brought from the storages that are currently depleting, and Russia does not have such a capability to produce like 600 tanks. They were scaring us with like 600 tanks on an annual basis. Like, it's possible when you lie, okay? But
Starsky,
2-3 months is nonsense.
May I have a second? I just want to place a bet on 2026. Just like you did, that Russia will start collapsing. I want to place a bet. I bet that China will step in and start providing Russia with tanks and armored vehicles in 2026. That's my bid. So yeah, that's it. That's my bet, probably.
Okay, let's bet sushi.
Yeah, let's bet sushi. Easy. Big set of sushi, like enormous one, like 10 sushi rolls in it. What do you think?
Okay. Okay, we have another one. I will donate $25 to United 24 right now if one of you gentlemen does a good American accent. Please, and I promise. Rick, can you do a good American accent?
Absolutely. I think I can do the Southern American accent. I'm not going to be like pretending that I'm from the South, but howdy. What? Roman, can you do the... Can you probably do the British accent? What do you think?
Blimey, no, sir. No, sir. Not possible.
Oh my God. I don't know what you're talking about here. I have no idea what kind of jibba jabba bullshit is coming out your chicken ass mouth, man.
Hey, nice one, man. Nice one.
I ain't got a farm, but I got a dog that knows how to bring a beer.
Okay,
I have no idea if this works, man, but thank you for your attempt. Okay, another one. You were perfect, actually.
Yeah, really.
Thanks.
Can I make a counter bet? China will invade Russia in 2025. Rick, do you think this is possible?
No, it's not possible because China doesn't need to invade anyone. China is just, capturing countries by a soft force, and they've captured Russia already. They don't need to invade Russia. I don't believe that they will militarily invade Russia because they've already invaded it. They okay, let me use the dirty word, okay? They penetrated Russia a long time ago just in terms of economics, okay?
You can use that word. It's only fans after all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget. Facts.
All right. Okay. I will do it. Thank you so much, kind sir. What about Taiwan? I don't know, guys. I don't have any prediction regarding Taiwan because I'm completely not an expert in that part of the world.
Oh yeah, you need to be an expert to really think of when China may be doing it, because in my opinion, China will definitely go to Taiwan someday. But when? Oh no, I'm not an expert on that too.
Dumitru Claudiu says penetration is not dirty at all. Not when General Budanov says that. Because because we will penetrate Russia deeper and deeper. I love when he speaks. Jesus Christ. Glory to Asus and Samsung. Don't buy Chinese brands. That is tricky.
Actually, Asus is a Chinese brand.
Is it? Because I believe that. Wait.
Let me
just
Google
a second. I gotta Google it.
Yeah.
Asus. Asus. Blah
What
blah
Asus?
blah.
Oh no, it's Taiwanese. It's Taiwanese. I
Taiwanese,
apologize.
yeah.
I apologize. Why am I using that word? I apologize. Yeah, Taiwan Asus. Wow, nice. So I bought myself a
China's Asus.
a motherboard. Asus motherboard. ASUS, the brand, Roman.
Asus.
Asus,
Yeah,
yes.
Asus. So the name comes from Pegasus. Pegasus.
Pegasus,
Okay.
Pegasus, probably.
Pegasus. Yeah, that's the word. You know it. Rick, your mate Rick here asking, is there a part of Russia that would like to be part of Ukraine when the war is over, like Kursk? Generally, I remember, like as far as I remember, Kursk was already part of Ukraine, like back in the days,
Yeah.
back in the 20s of 20th century. Kursk and
Voronezh.
like Kuban, all Voronezh.
Part of it, not the whole Voronezh Oblast. Rostov Oblast, Kursk Oblast. Yeah, so many oblasts that Russians just occupied and called it their own territory. But I don't think the people in there have any national consciousness to be willing to join Ukraine. And that's okay, because having them as part of Ukraine will be a big problem and challenge for us. Okay, guys? Because they've been living in Russia for too long. Just imagine how many Ivans from the skits of Starsky will be living in Ukraine. Do you remember the skits of Starsky? Roman, did you see some of them?
No.
No? I will show you some.
Oh God, I decided to make one the other day, but I lacked internet and everything. I'm moving, by the way. I moved last year in the end of December to a new place. Like nothing changed much here, but I actually moved, and this move was extremely painful. Seriously.
You made a move.
What? Yeah, big move. On the other hand, guys, remember those videos from like locals in Kursk Oblast, like Suja, who speak Ukrainian language?
Of course.
Ukrainian soldiers stopped to ask them something, and they're like, "Will you give us a ride?" And they ask in Ukrainian language. That is crazy. Like even like nowadays, hearing Ukrainian language in Russia, that is something.
You know, that's the proof that it's a Ukrainian territory initially. You know, Starsky, let me take a quick pause and thank everyone who donated, because we got around 1,002 or 300 euros donations already in total. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for buying patches with your donations, because it's not, you know, they are not on sale. You're getting them as a thank you for your donations. So, Roman, do you know we actually are on 51,094 euros, and we...
Very good.
That means it's a story time,
awesome.
Roman, because we passed 50,000. So what do you think?
Yeah, but you also didn't get me the chance to talk about patch, like any words, because
exactly.
I have something to tell about it.
Please, let's
about
do it.
Patches.
And I apologize that I was talking. I just got used to it. Sorry,
it's okay.
Roman.
You're a professional non-stop streamer. It's all right.
Yeah, thank you. So
I understand.
Please tell us.
Yeah, I just we talk a lot. We talk a little bit about sniping and about javelin and about FPV drones. So one of the unit for like one of the 4 cars will be not for my friends, but for my fellows, actually, with whom I fought and who was cover me while I was on assault mission. They cover me with the FPV drones because they are FPV pilots and Mavic pilots as well. And some bit statistic about sniping and about FPVs. It was pretty interesting because we talked with them previously, and I have also my commander. He's a sniper, and we try to exchange our experience. How like eliminate is okay word, right, for invaders.
It is.
It's not banned, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about eliminate and some calculations. And we are like cool snipers who have a lot of experience and a lot of combat missions. Talk with these Mavic pilots and ask how it's going, like how many frags did you have, stuff like that. And also Rick told you that almost for 1 month we collecting this money for this fundraising, and we have. I remember also this like 1 month. So we asked them like, what's your result after 1 month? And just for one Mavic operator, it was for 1 month mission. It was more than 100 of proven eliminated orcs, and we all the snipers just stay with him and just say, what the hell on earth? How the hell it's going? It's. I'm gonna explain it because maybe for some of you it's not so easy to understand. Like when you're a sniper, you climbing, you in dirty, you're being in cold, in hot weather, you're like starving, you're in any unfriendly condition which you can only imagine. You can wait maybe even for a few days for just one shot, and then just you should get out of this position. And and we just hear what's drone operator doing actually for release our land from such trash, and this number is so unbelievable for me. Like it was like for 1 week it was more than 30 like unreturned casualties, which was proven by another drone. So I just want to mention that these guys, they are my combat fellows, and they did so amazing job, and they really need this pickup. I have no story for other 3 units, but I believe they so profitable right now because some of them will be saved life, and some of them will be get rid of the trash from this earth. So it means less work for soldiers, and it means even less work for our foreigners friends who will not fight in any war, I believe, because we're gonna do all this dirty job. So this fundraising not about like patch with my face or stuff like that. It's only an example. It's we collect this money for soldiers who doing really incredible job, and as soon as possible we try to collect that and bring the car to them and help them to do it, because you see it's almost 3 years and people really tired of being at war, but we still doing this job with your support. So I just want to share a little bit more from my perspective about this fundraising. And for me it's also something personal, because this is the only thing I really proud like for this year, for last year and for this year, and the only thing that makes me happy, because I'm just finished my procedure on hospitals and go home, sleep for a few hours, and then run to Rick's stream, and we talk about war and collect money for the soldiers. So the only thing I'm really proud, it's such fundraising. So thank you all for your support with the repost, with donation, with the even with views this channel and this video, because it support us. Yeah, much appreciate.
Thank you so much, my brother. And also, I would like to say big thanks to all our moderators, to Ali, to Newman, and everybody who provides security and saves us from Russian hybrid warfare on the internet. Also, big thanks to Conchita Wurst. Conchita Wurst is not with us today, but the spirit of Private Conchita is with us every single day, guarding us from Russian insanity. And also, big thanks to everybody who watches this channel. Again, guys, you are amazing. We have actually the best community in the world. I truly believe so. And when I asked you guys who are the people or what was motivating you the most in 2024, in my case, they were our viewers, our friends. And it was like that in 2023, in 2022, and it will be like that forever because they are my personal main source of motivation and inspiration every single day. So thank you so much for watching our channel. And guys, we approached and crossed to our mark on the channel. I'm not as professional as Rick. I cannot just run for like 7 hours.
That's not about the professionalism. Actually, it's the opposite, Starsky.
That's the dedication. Actually, you are again. You're too humble, bro. That's the dedication, friends. Again, check out the link that I hope Newman will post once again in the chat over there. And also, big thanks to everybody who donated, everybody who will donate. Thank you so much. And guys, this is your time to say something to our viewers before we call it a night.
Okay, let me be first then.
Rick.
And I'll try to be brief, okay? But my professionalism can drive me away from
Let me speak from my heart.
Let me speak from my heart. Yeah, I like American accent more than the Russian one. So, okay. So, guys, the link is there in the chat. Roman's, I would say, dream, why not, for this week was to reach 60% of this campaign. It's going to be 54,000 and only 2,891 euros left. So less than 3,000 euros left to reach that mark. It's pretty close. It's pretty easy. And I think we can do it today already. Of course, after the stream already. But I ask you to follow that link right now and just leave a tab for yourself there. On the stream, not on the stream, in the browser, and help us get there to 60% this week. Maybe if you cannot donate today, donate any sum of money to that campaign tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. It could be €1, 50 euro cents, $50 US dollar cents, anything you can donate to that campaign. Also, what you can do, if you don't have the means to donate 100 euros and get the patch, you can actually, on my streams, my community members, rollers, they are funding other rollers for them to get the patches. You can go, well, it's going to be complicated because you need to join our Discord community and go to the Rollers Fund Rollers chat. But I just want you to know about that awesome initiative where our community members are helping the people get the patches if they cannot afford to donate that much to get them themselves, with their own donations. And it's really inspiring me every time I see it. They're donating hundreds of dollars for other rollers. So cool. And yeah, guys, let's get it. Let's get to 54,000, which is going to be 60%. It's pretty doable. And sorry, guys. I don't know if you hear it, but I have a screaming cat there. Yeah, and I'm also screaming, so I'm getting a bit more quiet to let my wife sleep. But what? But we're working our asses off with Roman, and we thank you for helping us, to do it for a reason, and we can see it this reason every time you donate, and we know that we're doing it not in vain, and I'm really inspired by that. I see that this fundraiser is moving very fast. Just the thing is, the goal is very big, and this is why we're gonna be running to reaching that goal. Thank you guys for all your support, all your help, and these patches. I think you can see them on Starsky's stream right here beneath me. Free Azov, Ultimate Resistance, and Javelin are the ones that you can get on that campaign. That campaign is being posted in the chat, and maybe Starsky will add it to the description of the stream if he will be so kind. Thank you, Starsky. Yeah, talking about fundraisers mostly, but guys, before that, like for the biggest part of the stream, I was giving you the motivational speeches, mostly. Sometimes demotivational, but mostly mostly motivational. I am still optimistic. It is hard right now in Ukraine when you get that many bad news on the tactical level, as Starsky says. But still, being supported, and all my fundraisers are being supported by you so much, all of you. It all, all of it gives me a lot of hope, a lot of encouragement and inspiration. So let's keep on rolling together to victory, guys. Thank you. That's my speech. The last one for today.
Roman, your turn.
It's just always so funny when humble Rick just show himself, like totally open his.
I'm fixing. I gotta talk right now.
Yes. I try to be short, but I'm not sure about it. Rick.
Well,
yeah. Thank you again, Starsky. It was really an unexpected surprise for me, like present under the fire tree, present for New Year, because really a long time no hear you, no see you, and superstars. You could ask Starsky sometimes where's the Rick and Romans. You could invite them like more often than once in a year or once in a half year. Because I believe it was end of 2023, right, when we gathering together.
Yeah, it was like December, I think, and we had a stream together in Leaf 99. Yeah.
Yes.
It was really cool. We were
good old times. Yes. Yes, it was auction. So like more than 1 year from that. So it's really cool to talk to you and to be with your community, because like a lot of people who support Ukraine, it always motivates us to do more. And just thank all of you viewers of this channel and Rick's channel and Starsky's channel. Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure to spend this evening with you guys talking about really important stuff.
It was. Starsky, I forgot to thank you myself too. So thank you very much. And in general,
it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have you on my streams, my friends. Yeah. You know that. Plus, I missed you like crazy. So it was my pleasure completely.
Thank you, man. I also missed you.
Thank you. Get out of here. All right, my friends. We will be finishing this stream, and we will gossip behind the curtain, after the stream is finished. Thank you so much for staying with us, and as always, we will see you in the next one. Be safe. We love you. Keep rocking. And thank you so much for supporting our country.
Live long, prosper, and donate. Bye, guys. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
Героям слава.